Hey everyone, welcome to 996 The Howl for the uninitiated. This is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes, and it's happening next week is the exhibition game, and then we get right into the playoffs next weekend. And it's going to be a wild ride. Hope all of you are into it. Before we get into the playoffs, before we talk about Taylor Hall contract rumors, let's finish up, reminding ourselves of how this team finished when the season paused a couple months ago. It's pretty much a tale of two seasons. Starting the season, the team was amazing. They even were first place in their division for some time. They were a playoff team for, consecutive weeks. But then, near the end of December into January and February, the team kind of fell off the rails due to a multitude of reasons. But looking at the stats, a baby step forward from last year for sure. Beginning of the year was a much bigger step, but obviously, like I mentioned, they took a step back in the latter half of the season. So let's get into it. Their goals for, I know everyone likes to make fun of the Coyotes for not scoring goals, but they're actually 21st in scoring goals, which is bad, but not as terrible as everyone would make it out to be. There's 10 more teams worse in the league at scoring than the Coyotes. Last year they were 27th, this year 21st, so a good step in the right direction, but obviously needs to be much better for the playoffs and for next season. I'm already talking about next season like the season's over. Goals against, obviously Coyotes one of the top defensive teams in the league, third place in goals against. Pretty commonplace for the Coyotes for the past 8 years. They're a defensive team first, and that sentiment has carried through even different coaches and different GMs. So third place last year, they were sixth place, so another step forward for them in a category. Power play, much better than last season. Last season it was 26th overall. This season it was 18th overall. I still think the power play is pretty bad, but surprisingly it's at 18th, so they're almost at league average. But still they need to work on the power play, especially in these playoffs and play-ins where special teams is very important. And thankfully their other special team stat, their PK, ranks 5th this season. Last year they were tied for first place, which was crazy considering all the injuries they had. But this year they're 5th place, pretty good penalty kill. But an interesting stat is that they're 30th place in penalty minutes, so they don't go on the penalty kill much. So, and even though the Predators, who they face in playoffs, have a terrible power play, the Coyotes won't give Nashville that many opportunities on the power play, which is good, but also Nashville doesn't really score on their power play. They score more 5-on-5, so that kind of washes out. But it was interesting to see the Coyotes so low in the league in drawing penalties. That says they're a very disciplined team. And that's it. They're very disciplined. 30th place in the league for penalty minutes. Moving on, their saving percentage, one of their best stats next to their penalty kill, ranks 3rd in the league at 92%. 3rd in the league. They got the best goalie tandem in the league, I think, in Antti Raanta and Darcy Kemper, and they're going to rely on those two in the play-ins. They got a back-to-back against Nashville, so you better believe it that both goalies will showcase their skills in that short play-in period of time. Their possession numbers, they're pretty bad. 23rd place in the league in possession percentage, Corsi percentage, 5-on-5, not power play. So they're 48.3% possession. So that means more often than not, the other team is carrying the puck and possessing the puck more than the Coyotes, and they need to work on that. I know a lot of teams are very analytical, and John Chayka is as well, but for some reason Rick Tocchet hasn't translated John Chayka's analytic team makeup on paper, and they're at 48%. For their high danger chances generated, the Coyotes are 18th place. For a team that doesn't score and is not really offensive, they generate a lot of high danger chances. Obviously, it's still 18th place in the league. They're almost at league average, but for high danger chances converted, High danger chances converted, they're at 18th place. High danger chances for the Coyotes are at 12th place. So they're top 12 in generating the high danger chances, but they don't convert on many, which makes more sense than what I previously said. 18th place in converting those high danger chances into goals. Obviously, Coyotes don't like scoring and they're pretty bad offensively, but the fact that they generate 12th most high danger chances means that they get their chances, but they just don't score. It's the execution that's a problem, not necessarily generating the offense. So maybe something Rick Tocchet can look at fixing and, drill into why this team can't convert on the chances, because they are generating the chances, they're just not converting. And the other way around, high danger chances against, they're 11th in the league, so that's good. They're almost top 10 for allowing the least amount of high danger chances. As a defensive team, that makes sense. They don't allow a lot of high danger chances for the other team. And converting on those high danger chances against, they're 7th place in the league. So they're top 10 in not allowing the opponents to convert on their high danger chances, which is great. 7th place in the league, top 10, almost top 5, for not allowing teams to convert on their great chances they generate offensively. So that's pretty good. They generate their offense, they don't convert on it, which they need to work on, but they also don't allow teams to generate much high danger chances, and their opponents can't convert on those high danger chances. So that translates to a good save percentage, a good penalty kill, and a good defensive system, which we all know, and which is why the Coyotes may have a chance in the play-ins, because they're a tight defensive team. And in the playoffs, most teams who win the Cup are very defensive, and they preach defensive hockey more than offensive hockey. And so, a lot of mixed stats in there. Offensive-wise, the Coyotes need to work on a lot. Defensive-wise, they're kind of, in a place where they should be. Maybe some improvements. They had a lot of injuries on the back end this season with Jomerson and Demers, and Jacob Chikrin missed some time, so they're all healthy for the playoffs. So, and the goalie tandem is all healthy. Kemper's healthy, Ranta's healthy. So their defensive style of game should still be there. They should still be, one of the better teams in the play-ins defensively. And hopefully that translates. Hopefully this pause, this long break, didn't really affect their defensive game style. And Rick Tocchet just needs to focus on the offensive part of the team's game. Just one more note, the Coyotes have the 3rd most regulation losses entering these play-ins. Only Chicago and Montreal have lost more in regulation than the Coyotes. So, looking at that stat, it really makes you think like, wow, the Coyotes pretty much don't deserve to be in this qualification tournament. But, they did make it, so we can't ponder about it too much. But yeah, I just want to say that, they're kind of at the bottom of the barrel for these play-in teams, right there with Chicago and Montreal. So maybe you should temper your expectations with how far they should go. But we'll see next week. I'll do a deep analysis on their matchup with Nashville and see how these two teams match up head-to-head. Next week it's going to start. They had that exhibition July 30th against Las Vegas, the Golden Knights. So that should be a fun game. That's televised as well. And that's it. We're right there. We're right into the playoffs. One more week, and we'll see how much damage the Coyotes can do. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.